John Edwards for Griffiths TV alongside head soccer coach Brian Haddock. And coach, regular season is over. You pick up a win against Helias Catholic the other night, senior night. Give us a little bit of a recap and how things went for the team and how important it was to get some of your seniors in and get them some significant playing time.
Yeah, John. Well, obviously, from a scoring and result perspective, you can't argue with the 8 goals. 6 of the 8 goals came from seniors, so that was extra special as they played. It played and gobbled up the majority of the minutes throughout the entire match. We even had some seniors playing in secondary positions, but the spirit of the game, the spirit of our underclassmen supporting those guys were just awesome, and that was just as valuable as the result itself.
Give a little insight about you having this group of kids now for a few years in their senior year and what it's meant for you, for them being seniors this year, and the importance in the gel that this team has had all year long.
Yeah, we addressed that exact question, prior to the game and our pregame with the entire team. And, with me being their coach, what we value more is what we see outside of the soccer field. I've taught in the classroom, the majority of these guys. The unique part about the group is that all of them have kind of come from different soccer backgrounds in terms of their progression in the program. We had a good chunk of them as 3-year players. A chunk of them were 2-year players, and we even had a player that made our varsity for the first time this year. So in that, it's been really special. And the soccer piece you can replace. I think each of these players, we're all replaceable, but what you can't replace is the personalities. Those memories that you have with these kids in the hallways. And what they bring to this team as far as their personality and as a piece to this puzzle is what's irreplaceable. And that's what I miss of this class.
You finished the regular season. We had talked about it at the beginning of the year. We had talked about how difficult your schedule was going to be. You were around 500 for the course of the year. You kind of stated at the beginning of the year, goals weren't going to come from all one player. They were going to come from all over the place. And that's kind of how it happened all year. As you move into the postseason, you take on Poplar Bluff, the 7 seed, and we'll talk a little bit about more of the seedings here momentarily, but talk about the momentum after Tuesday and how the teams played over the last week or so, with CBC last week, Eureka last week, some of the top teams, and then you get Helias on Tuesday night as you move into Saturday.
Yeah, really all year, the story's been, I think we knew that we can compete with anybody. And when you look at our record and some of those results, my gosh, without me seeing the schedule right here, I'd like to see how many of our losses were one goal losses when, the deciding factor was a penalty kick or maybe an own goal or maybe a goal with 10 ticks left on the clock. So we're right there with some of the best competition in the state. And as far as the goals come, yeah, what we expected is kind of what we've seen. And I think that makes us a dangerous team in districts and beyond, we hope. And that's that there's a few different guys that can hurt you. And then we're just looking for, starting on Saturday, maybe that boy in our attack that has the hot hand, who becomes, maybe a focal point and a dangerous guy. And I think one guy that we could look to as far as stats goes is senior Jackson Adamak, who can hurt you at any given time with his energy up top. And that's kind of what we're looking for starting on Saturday.
Goals on Tuesday night, you said you had 6 different seniors score on Saturday. Some of the guys get significant minutes for you during the regular season. Does a goal at the end of the season maybe give them a little bit of a confidence boost moving into that next season of postseason?
Absolutely. We had a senior in Alex Vogelwide score his very first goal of the year in senior night, and I think that gives him some confidence. One of our 2 juniors who scored on senior night was Tommy Calora, his first varsity goal. And I know he plays a lot of minutes, but he's not one of those guys that's going to score a ton. Belief's a powerful thing, and I think when kids like that score, man, the belief of this group just goes through the roof.
you've had you'll have a couple of days between now and Saturday, as the team had a couple of days off to kind of rejuvenate as they get ready for Saturday.
Yeah, we had a really good practice yesterday. We're going to practice today on Thursday and train again Friday before our game. But yeah, having 3 days to practice has been few and far between really all year. And the three biggies for us is just to keep our fitness level high, work on some things tactically that maybe a few teams in our district might present us. And then, like I said, the technical piece is number 3, because you can never have enough of that. Sometimes, especially with 1-goal games, the technique is the deciding factor. The touch on the ball and all that sort of good stuff.
Sure. If you get a look at the district, Jackson's the number 1 seed. We were the number 2 seed. Oakville, then Northwest, Cedar Hill, Lindbergh, Seckman, Poplar Bluff, and Fox round out the top 8. And it's a little bit different this year because there's 8 in the district. And usually because there's most of the times the district were 6 teams, the top 2 seeds would get a bye into that second round. Things change a little bit this year. Does the tactic change for you?
Not really, because I think our schedule, and I know you and I have talked about this in previous Zooms, I think our schedule has really lended itself to our opponents playing a lot like our potential district opponents. We had Oakville on our schedule. We had Lindbergh on our schedule. Actually played Lindbergh twice. And I think that style is really what the entire district is all about, because as you said, this is new. This is the first time we've had 8-team districts. We're typically used to 6 or even 4. And not only 8-team districts, but teams that are traveling in from out of the metro area to compete. But we really feel, out of respect to the entire district, our tough schedule, has us ready for teams, whether it's Poplar Bluff, Fox. I mean, you named them all: Northwest, Lindbergh, Oakville. There's some really good teams, but I think with the 2 that we played, it's a microcosm of the entire district. And then, of course, Jackson is the returning state champion.
What do you know about Poplar Bluff? What could you tell us about Poplar Bluff, your opponent on Saturday?
Yeah, they're going to play a very physical style, probably very direct. They got a couple guys that can put the ball in the net, and the only unknown is that there's not a whole lot of common opponents between us and them. But again, I think they're going to have probably a very organized, physical team in the back, and it's going to press us maybe with an athlete or 2 up top to get a counterattack goal, and that's probably the best we know about them.
I always appreciate a few minutes of your time. And districts kick off Saturday morning for us at 11:45 here at Don Heeb Field. Quarterfinal Saturday, semifinals on Tuesday, finals will be on Thursday, and hopefully we'll see you on Thursday night next week, Coach, playing a district final.
Yeah, we hope, and I always appreciate doing this, and thank you for the support of our team.
Coach, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, John.